Majority Whip.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I join the colleagues in sending my sentiments against the heinous attack that was, realized yesterday. Mr. Speaker, I send a message of condolence to members of our population, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, my view of this problem is this, or as follows. Mr. Speaker, it is the making of the government. It is the making of the government, Mr. Speaker, that we suffer the kind of suffering that our people are in today, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, people elect leaders, Mr. Speaker. And when leaders are elected, the leaders represent people by giving their grievances and their views to the government, Mr. Speaker. It was a long time ago, Mr. Speaker, when Salah was the regional commissioner here, that leaders of this region converged at a point, discussed this matter of insecurity in the region, Mr. Speaker, at length, and resolved that we can solve our problem in a month or less than a month, if only there's a good gesture from the government, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we have the capacity. Our boys are ready to defend our people, Mr. Speaker. If they are armed and lured by the government, Mr. Speaker, we are talking about 10,000, 20,000 shillings for a person, or a KPR, Mr. Speaker, and arms, sufficient arms, and some little trainings, Mr. Speaker, so that we defend ourselves, Mr. Speaker. The government turned deaf ears on this, Mr. Speaker, and Mr. Speaker, when an incident, an ugly incident like the one of yesterday happens, the government gives communication, lying through the press, Mr. Speaker, that there is a hot pursuit that are made against the bandits, Mr. Speaker. There is nothing. We are confirming to Kenyans that there is no pursuit. There is no pursuit made when the bandits attack 3, 4, 5 days, like my colleague from Mohammed Shukri, Honorable Mohammed Shukri said. Actionable intelligence is given, no action. Our people die, including our security forces, Mr. Speaker. There is no action. We come back to the camp, waiting for another death and another, plan of the bandits on our people and on our security, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let this communication go to our president as an appeal, Mr. Speaker. Our county is almost closed because the 3 roads that we use to access Nairobi, Mr. Speaker, are those. Mandera Road through Lafe is closed almost 5 years ago, Mr. Speaker. And a direction was given by our security heads, Mr. Speaker, that this road be closed. We cannot use it, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, along that road, we have got a lot of networks of military. Sophisticated, seriously armed military that is, along the road, Mr. Speaker. These boys are around 5, 6, 7, 10, Mr. Speaker, who are terrorizing our people and our security personnel, Mr. Speaker. If this intelligence is given, these people are not, nobody goes for them, Mr. Speaker. Our KPRs, nobody equips them. The government gives deaf ears to our request, Mr. Speaker. I wish to state here, Mr. Speaker, that this is the making of the government that is headed by His Excellency President Uhuru Kenyatta. It is the making of the government, Mr. Speaker, that we stay insecure, losing one of us every now and again, Mr. Speaker. Tomorrow we shall lose another one, Mr. Speaker. Let us send a clear signal to the government, Mr. Speaker, that we go through Ethiopia road up to Moyale, from Suf to here to Moyale. From Moyale we go via the tarmac that goes to Nairobi, Mr. Speaker, because Mandera is impassable. The government is watching, Mr. Speaker. I regret to say this statement, Mr. Speaker. I regret to send this statement, but that is the fact of the matter, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let the government, let the President of the Republic of Kenya check on this poor management of security dockets in our county, Mr. Speaker. I'm sure there is no officer, whatever the rank, there is no officer in this county who can, have this kind of laxity to make sure, to ensure that this is at the personal level or the personal weakness, Mr. Speaker. This is a government that has got a lot of, trained and capacitated armed forces in different areas, police, APs, and national, KDF, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, let the government not cheat the wananchi of Kenya mandera, Mr. Speaker, the government should come clear and give our people why we should suffer when we have got a lot of forces in the county who are doing nothing. We are only shown these guys just to ensure that we sleep, that we have got a lot of securities around us when they are doing nothing for us. And Mr. Speaker, the government is watching. I regret to say this. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Honorable Member Representative Ramo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. My name is Honorable Kula Alio, the Honorable Member elected from Ramu. Mr. Speaker, sir, I want to join my colleagues who have spoken before me in condemning the heinous act that has taken place yesterday in Mandera North and by extension in Guticha Ward, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, we are the representative of the people of Mandera County, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, when the lives and the properties of our people are threatened, we as the representative are also threatened, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, security is not devolved. It is among the 35 functions